In today's lecture, we start angular SHM. First thing we learn what is angular SHM, then we learn differential form of SHM. Similar to the linear SHM, we have to learn this article. So you can see a diagram here, a metallic disc which is hanged to a rigid support by a wire or by a string. If the disc is slightly twisted about the axis, you can see here the direction of the twist, and released, it perform rotational motion in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. So you know that when we pull the bob of the simple pendulum towards one side and release it, then it start moving to and fro about its mean position. Similar to here, as once we turn this disc slightly, then it start its motion, means it is clockwise motion and anti-clockwise motion. Such oscillations are called as angular oscillation, and such type of motion is angular oscillation. In such type of oscillations we can say angular oscillation. It is also called as torsional oscillation. This motion is governed by restoring torque. You know that when we twist this uh, wire, or when we apply some here, the force in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction and release it, then in this wire some restoring force is developed, and because of that restoring force, the clockwise and anti-clockwise motion of the wire, this disc we can see. Means basically a restoring torque is developed here, which is in opposite to the angular displacement. Next article is differential equation of angular SHM. Before proceeding toward the differential equation of angular SHM, let I tell you differential equation of linear SHM is d square x by dt square plus omega square x is equal to 0. So this is a differential equation of linear SHM for linear SHM. This is a differential equation. Or the same equation we can write d square x by dt square plus k by m into x is equal to 0. So this k by m is equal to the omega square. This is also a differential equation in another form. Now let me learn differential equation for angular SHM. So in angular motion, restoring torque acting on body for angular moment, angular displacement theta is given. Listen, angular torque, this restoring torque depends on how much is the angular displacement. How much is the angular displacement? Based on that, angular torque depends. So we can write here torque depends on the angular displacement. So we can write torque proportional to theta. And here minus sign. You know that in linear SHM we written here F proportional to minus x. Similar manner. So here in this kind of motion, the analogous term to the force is torque, and analogous term to the displacement is the angular displacement. It is theta, and this minus sign as it is. So torque proportional to minus theta. And when we put the sign is equal to sign, then we have to write constant, and C is the constant here, constant of proportionality. Minus sign indicate that this torque and theta, they are oppositely directed. Both are oppositely directed. Now after this, we also know if I is the moment of inertia. We learn moment of inertia. If I is the moment of inertia acting on body, then torque is given by the moment of inertia and the torque relation that we already derived. Torque is equal to I alpha, where alpha is the angular acceleration. So we will get here two formulas of the torque. This is the first formula. This is second formula. Now we can equate these two formulas, so we get I alpha is equal to minus c into theta. One side of both the equation is same, so we equated these two equations. Now after that, alpha is what? Acceleration. You know that linear acceleration is what? dv by dt. Then d by dt as it is. Instead of v, we can write dx by dt. So acceleration we get d square by dt square. Similar manner, you know that alpha is equal to what? D omega by dt. Then d by dt as it is. Omega is what? D theta by dt. Now what we get? D square theta by dt square as a alpha. Now let me try to simplify it by using that. So alpha is equal to, we substituted this, d square theta, alpha is equal to d square theta divided by dt square, and this I as it is equal to minus c into this theta. Now we have to simplify this equation to get differential equation. Now we transfer this I to this right hand side. So here it is divided to c minus c and theta. So we get a next term d square theta divided by dt square is equal to minus c theta divided by I. Okay. In this alpha is equal to, means d square theta by dt square is alpha. Alpha is equal to minus c into theta divided by I. This formula you. C and I are constant. So we can write here, if C and I is constant from this formula, then we can write alpha proportional to minus theta. Just we written torque proportional to minus theta. Similar manner we get alpha proportional to minus theta. This angular acceleration means this alpha depends on angular displacement. Angular acceleration depends on angular displacement, means alpha depends on theta. But both are in opposite direction, so we put the negative sign. Hence, this is oscillatory motion, and this motion is called as angular SHM. Time period of angular SHM is given by, the time period is similar here. T is equal to 2 pi by omega, which is similar to the previous, means similar to this linear SHM. As well as we know the formula, T is equal to 2 pi divided by under root angular acceleration per unit displacement. So here in linear SHM, we are written here, T is equal to 2 pi upon linear acceleration per unit displacement. We are not use this word angular. But when we are talking about the period of this angular SHM, it is given by this formula. Therefore, angular SHM is defined here. Angular SHM is defined by this formula, or we can use this formula, torque proportional to this minus theta. So it is defined as oscillatory motion of body in which torque, two words we use, torque or angular acceleration, means alpha or tau, directly proportional to angular displacement, and direction is opposite to that of angular displacement. So direction is opposite, so that's why negative signs come. Question may be asked, define angular SHM. You have to write this definition. Next article is magnet vibrating in uniform magnetic field. Now we consider one magnet which is placed between the magnetic field. Then because of interaction of two magnetic field, it vibrates or it oscillates, we can say. And that motion we have to study. You can see diagram here. This is the magnet. This is the N pole. This is S pole. Now this is a force acting on the N pole is MB. Now you know that electric intensity formula is F by Q. Similar manner, magnetic field formula is F by M. So F is equal to MB. This is the force acting on a pole whose strength is M. So here, force acting on this S pole is MB, or we can put minus MB. Okay? Because it is opposite to this force. Or the pole strength of S pole is minus M, so we can put minus MB also. Let me consider mu is the magnetic dipole moment. We can use capital M also for magnetic dipole moment. But here in this chapter oscillation they use mu. So I use here mu for the magnetic dipole moment. But in one of the chapter related to the magnetic field we use capital M also. So mu is the magnetic dipole moment. B is the magnetic field. In deflected position, restoring torque acts on magnet that tends to bring back to its equilibrium position. Magnitude of the torque is given by, so torque is equal to mu b sine theta. In physics 2, I told you torque is given by formula mb sine theta. So this is the formula of torque. Torque acting on dipole, magnetic dipole. Torque acting on electric dipole is Pe sine theta. Electric dipole. And this is on magnetic dipole. So remember, torque acting on electric dipole is Pe sine theta. P is what? Magnetic dipole moment. E is electric intensity and the sine of theta. Here M is the magnetic dipole moment, B is the magnetic induction and sine of. So instead of capital M here we use mu. So torque acting is given by formula mu B sine theta. Theta is very small, so sine theta we can write as a theta. So instead of sine theta we use theta. So we get torque is equal to mu B into theta. For clockwise angular displacement theta, restoring torque is in anti-clockwise. So restoring torque is always opposite to the angular displacement because we are written here torque proportional to minus theta. So they are oppositely directed. Or we know the formula of torque is another formula, torque is equal to I alpha. Or they are oppositely directed, so we can write here torque is equal to minus mu b into theta. Torque is equal to minus mu b into theta. So they are oppositely directed. Theta and this torque, you can see here torque and theta oppositely directed. So here the torque is coming, here theta is coming. They are oppositely directed, so we put the minus sign. I is the moment of inertia in above formula, alpha is angular acceleration. Now alpha is equal to, by using this formula we can write alpha is equal to minus mu b upon I into theta. Only we transfer this I to this right hand side. Then we get this form. Now here this mu b divided by I is constant. So we can write this alpha proportional to minus theta. And therefore motion of this magnet is angular resistance. So here we get this alpha proportional to minus theta. The motion, the oscillatory motion where angular acceleration proportional to angular displacement and they are oppositely directed, then that motion is the angular resistance. So therefore here it is written they are proportional, oppositely directed, therefore it is the angular resistance. And its magnet will form angular SHM. Now by using this formula we can write alpha upon theta is equal to mu b upon I. We are not written negative sign because we consider only magnitude. In magnitude only we are written this. And this is what alpha divided by theta is angular acceleration per unit angular displacement. Hence we can write angular acceleration per unit angular displacement is equal to mu into b divided by r. And by using that, we can find out period. Period is given by a formula. You can see the formula of period. 2 pi upon angular acceleration per unit is angular displacement. And you can see here, this term is here. Now let me substitute this term angular acceleration per unit displacement in this formula of period. Then we get T is equal to 2 pi under root alpha upon theta. Alpha upon theta means this angular acceleration per unit displacement. Let me substitute this. We get an expression for period of this magnet. T is equal to 2 pi under root I upon mu into b. And write this like this. Theta upon alpha. Or we can write 2 pi I upon mu. This after substituting. So this is the expression for period. I hope you understood this. Now next article is damped oscillation. Everybody know that what is oscillatory motion means to and fro motion of object is called as oscillatory motion. But what is damped oscillation? Let I tell you simple example here. So when amplitude decreases, then that oscillation is called as damped oscillation. So you can see here the definition. Periodic oscillations of gradually decreasing amplitude. So this word is very important. Gradually decreasing amplitude are called damped harmonic oscillation. And that oscillator is called as damped harmonic oscillator. Now you can see here diagram also. So in a diagram, this is spring. This is a block. And here some liquid is there. And in that liquid, you can see this vane. Okay. When we give oscillation to the block, then you know that if this vane is absent, if this part is not there, then block start oscillating to and fro. But here, this vane is there and it is placing liquid. So liquid opposes this motion of the block. Means it produces damping. So the amplitude of the block goes on decreasing gradually. So therefore, this type of oscillatory motion of the block is called as damped oscillation. Now here, damping force. If we consider damping force is Fd, it depends on nature of the surrounding medium, means it depends on which type of medium inside this, maybe water or any other liquid, and directly proportional to the speed of the vane. The speed of the vane also decides how much the damping force is there. So here we can write the relation between damping force and the speed. They are proportional. So here we get a relation, this damping force proportional to the speed, and they are oppositely directed. Okay, they are oppositely directed. Therefore, the minus sign is coming. So we get a relation here. Damping force is equal to minus B into V. And this B is a constant of proportionality. That's it only. Okay, B is a damping constant. Negative sign indicate that this, you can see here, this damping force Fd opposes the velocity. Or they are oppositely directed. Listen, as damping force increases, velocity decreases. They are opposing. Damping force opposes the velocity, and because of that, negative sign is coming. Also, we can say here, the spring constant is K. If spring constant is K, then force on the block from the spring is And the force, you know that here we learn in the previous article, F proportional to minus x. Then we can put here constant F is equal to minus kx relation B. And that here it is written. Okay, this restoring force is equal to minus k into x. This k is a this force constant. K is a constant and it is called as force constant. In this case, one more force is acting and it is a gravitational force. But we are considering gravitational force is neglected in this case. So when we are deriving the formula, we are not considering any gravitational force here. We consider this damping force and this restoring force due to the spring, or force due to the spring basically. Now, we can write here total force acting on the mass or on the block is. Total force is what? Damping force is in the downward direction, means it is a damping force plus this force due to this spring. Let me substitute both the formulas. So we get Ma is equal to damping force and force due to the spring or force restoring force we have to substitute. So Ma is equal to this damping force is minus Bv and Fs is minus Kx. So we substitute, we get this formula. Now we transfer this minus Bv and minus Kx towards left hand side. So we get a formula. Ma plus Bv plus Kx is equal to 0. So acceleration we can write like this. You know that A is equal to dv by dt. Then d by dt as it is. V is what? Dx by dt. So acceleration we can write d square x by dt square. This is acceleration. So you know that velocity is what? Dx by dt. Okay, that we substitute here. This is the acceleration and this is velocity we substitute. Then we get this is the equation and this is the differential equation of this motion. This differential equation of damping motion. Now we have to write solution of this equation. The solution of this equation is x is equal to a e raised to minus bt divided by 2m into cos of omega t plus phi. Omega t plus phi. Now here solution, it's a mathematical part. So solution, how we get solution, that I'm not explaining here. But here you remember, the solution is this. A is the amplitude, E is the exponential term. Why the exponential term is there, that I will tell you. Because the amplitude goes on decreasing in exponential manner. So the E raised to something we are written here. So this is the amplitude. So this basically is the total amplitude. Okay, at any time instant t. And this cos omega t plus phi. Here AE minus raised to minus bt by 2m is the amplitude. As shown in the displacement against time graph, the amplitude decreases with time exponential. You can see here, initially amplitude is A. Then as time increases, amplitude start decreasing, and finally it stops. So here we can see here exponential decay in the amplitude. Therefore here e raised to something we are written. You can see here, so this is the displacement against time graph that you can see very carefully. Omega is the angular frequency and it is given by this formula. Similar manner, we can write period also. Period, you know that t is equal to 2 pi by omega. Only we substitute omega, then we get a formula of period.